Hey kid, don't ever let them get inside your head. They'll tell you what to do in life instead of everything you know that you could get. Don't let them guide your life towards regret. I'll fight for what I love with every breath. My past is filled with things I won't forget. I use them all to push me to my best. So treat the worst of times just like a test. If only I could go back in time, I'd tell myself that everything will end up alright. Just push yourself, test yourself, figure out what you like, and find your limits, don't be rigid, always work towards a prime. Surround yourself with open minds, people can change your life. A few friends with intent can help you feel alive. Find a passion, take some action, and with a little time, just be patient, make a statement, try to enjoy your life. They'll try to kick you while you're down. They wanna rise up while you drown. They wanna fill your head with doubt. They're silently scared that you'll figure it out. I'll make it look like I'm losing, won't bother hiding my bruises. And when they finally think you're wounded, then it's your chance to be ruthless. Make some progress, I can see that they compare. I think everyone's against me, maybe something in the air. Am I paranoid? I swear a void is forming and they're scared. I walk a straight path, not many can say that. I like to play fast, cross me and there's payback. You better pray that I don't see your face at any place that I go. I know you hate that. I've been doing fine, I'm not wasting any more time. I live for the fight and the climb. I think that the pain that's deep inside is what defines. So I won't give up, I'm gonna make it to the top. I don't care what's in my way, I swear I'm never gonna stop. I could fall flat on my face and I swear I will get back up. Cause I don't deserve a thing and the road ahead is tough. They'll try to kick you while you're down. They wanna rise up while you drown. They wanna fill your head with doubt. They're silently scared that you'll figure it out. I'll make it look like I'm losing, won't bother hiding my bruises. And when they finally think you're wounded, then it's your chance to be ruthless. Won't just happened. This is not a Christmas. This is not a Christmas song. This is not.
Was the media will just reverse ferret.
Okay.
So, have you heard about reverse ferreting?
Is that simply them saying, well, we said it all along?
Well, it's even better than that, yeah. So, in British media, right, a reverse ferret is a sudden reversal in an organisation's editorial or political line on a certain issue. Generally, this will involve no acknowledgement of the previous position.
It's because people love a show, so give them a show.
You know, all these little meetings they have in council offices and things, you know, around the water cooler, should be a camera there with a feed. And someone should be able to look at that and go, oh, they're talking about building a motorway without really telling anyone, but trying to get it through on the back door.
Good evening and welcome to Veridora Green News, the only channel that brings you the latest updates on the environmental issues in Veridora. Another breaking news story tonight. President Ben launches probe into President John's decision to spare Eastern Forest of Veridora.
I'm an infuriated First Minister and Party leader here. I mean, we need this ceasefire. We need to get more aid into Scotland. Scottish people here are struggling. They're homeless. They're dispossessed. They've lost all hope. The grasp of independence is fading away. And Keir Starmer's just... He should be on my team, you know. I mean, really, if he thinks he's going to win, he needs to take some votes off of the SNP. In fact, I'm getting to the point... I'm thinking that to save my own skin I might need to jump ship myself because things are not looking good in Scotland.
Well. It's that day again. It's Monday. It's the 13th of November, 2023. And it's been a day. It has been a day. We weren't supposed to be covering a lot of the stuff we are going to be covering today, but it's happened, hasn't it, John?
Why are you talking like that?
I don't know.
You sound a bit like a cross between George Galloway and a robot. I don't know if we're covering today what we were supposed to be covering today. It's been a day.
I do not know what we are supposed to be covering today.
You've gone Russian. Right. Rushing about like a lady. Right. Yeah, okay. There's a couple of things we need to cover before we start.
Okay.
One, Lexi's just back from the vet.
That's your puppy. Oh, no, your dog.
No, it's the dog with an infection in its foot. Idiot dog that it is. 127 quid.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So
believe me,
if you want to sponsor Lexi's paw, you know where to drop the money.
Animal welfare is an expensive game because they know how much we love our animals, and you know
it's ridiculous. That's ridiculous, though. I mean, they use out of date human drugs for animals.
But oftentimes, yes.
Yeah. Chances.
Yeah, that's.
I've no idea how it happens, Slaney, but the dog is a complete and utter idiot.
She stood on a form, most likely.
Probably, yeah. Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
She was up the woods on Saturday.
She definitely stood on a form.
Yeah,
then.
So, almost certainly. But, of course, she's been limping about for a day and a half, right? Won't put any weight on the foot. So Andy takes her to the vet, and the vet goes, let her off the lead and let her walk down the corridor. And she walks down the corridor as if there's nothing wrong with her.
Yeah.
But then she goes berserk when the vet tries to touch her foot. And the vet's goes,
it's because it's in pain, John.
Yeah, but I've been there. This dog, despite it being not that big, has the strength of a polar bear. Because I had to hold her down while the vet in France was taking her stitches out. And, oh my God, I mean, we both came out. We looked as if we'd been 10 rounds with Hulk Hogan.
I'll tell you what, cats are little bastards as well.
Yeah.
I remember once we had a kitten that we'd essentially rescued. We still got her. But when we went to pick her up, the place you couldn't see the floor in the place that we went to get her from. It was like this deep with clothing, and obviously she was absolutely riddled with flea. So we tried to give her a bit of a flea dip. A bit of a flea bath, and I have scars on the insides of both of my armpits where she hung.
Oh,
she
that's like a man called horse.
Yeah, so she latched in and hung, and I squealed
like a little bitch.
Yeah, I did. I definitely squealed.
Get off my titties.
It was my armpits, dude.
Yeah, I know. I used titties for dramatic effect.
It didn't work, man. It didn't land.
Oh, good God. Nobody's got the movie yet. I was watching it the weekend, despite me dropping 2 movie quotes.
Which was...
Well, the first movie quote was... What was the first movie quote? I can't remember the first one. The second movie quote I dropped today was, I don't do romance much, but I have to say those are truly massive titties.
I mean, that's a pickup line and a half.
Isn't it? Yeah.
Isn't it just? Isn't it just? Right.
One more thing. Sorry.
Interrupting me.
What were you going to say? Oh, right, on you go. You go. You go first. You go first. Go first.
I was gonna give them the housekeeping, but I'll give them the housekeeping before we do the
No, give them the housekeeping now.
No, it's too late now.
Well, the next thing's kind of newsy, so yeah, give them the housekeeping now.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, as you guys well know, we no longer really address the chat during the show. But if you do want to speak and ask questions and all of that, we will get to it at the end. And obviously, we'll always prioritize anybody who supports us via either Ko-fi, Patreon, or of course here by hitting the join button or giving a generous super chat. John, over to you.
Yes, thank you, Ben. So, not in our regular list. Well, we're doing something slightly different today. Hold on a second. I just want to see. I just want to see if I can change something.
We are doing the show a bit differently today, and we haven't tested it, so we're going to do it on the fly and see how it goes.
We haven't tested it. Where's my name gone?
Your name, both our names are gone now.
Yeah, I know, because I was switching them back to white because they're moaning about it being in Halloween orange. I quite like it.
I like Halloween orange too.
Yeah, fuck it. We're back to orange. I can't find it. I can't find the. Just think it's so lucky I don't have the pumpkin still up there. Anyway, you can't get that fun anymore. It was obviously only a special for Halloween time. So, Mr. Scholz, Chancellor of Germany, has said today that it's maybe time that they started talking to Putin.
Yeah.
And he said that he's been talking to him up until a year ago or something like that, and he's going to start talking to him, and he's not going to stop now until they get things sorted out. Well, that's like, well, what you've been doing for the last 9 months? Why you not been talking to him? Huh? Schultzy boy. I can tell you why you've not been talking to him. Because Big Daddy USA said, don't talk to the bad man.
And then somebody, Big Daddy USA, blew up their pipeline.
Yeah.
Somebody blew up their pipeline.
Right.
Are you going to introduce the show? How are we doing it?
I don't know. Well, actually, I wasn't going to run an intro because we'd already kind of done it in the pre-roll there, haven't we?
Let's just amble on with the show then.
Amble on with episode 268. Welcome, people. So
yeah.
What we're going to do is we're going to go through the, what we're going to call it, the news items of the day. Except we won't probably be covering as many, and we'll be doing them with slightly more depth. Is that correct, Ben?
We're going to attempt to,
We're going to try. We're going to
try.
So if we move to... Oh, God. Ben, you're not there.
Where have I gone?
You're not there, Ben.
Where have I gone? They can only hear me. They can't see me. Where am I, John? I'm stuck in a dark hole. I'm in a dark room, John. Where am I?
You're back, Ben. I know you don't like this claustrophobic thing. Claustrophobic?
Oh, dude, I just felt the walls closing in on me. It felt tighter than a pair of my little sister's jeans.
Where am I? I'm in the void.
Which look great on me, by the way.
TMI. TMI. Did you see that picture I posted today of Rishi Sunak with his family?
Which one?
The black and white. Well, was it black and white? No, but it was an older one. It was him and his mum and his two siblings. It did look a bit dodgy.
Did you see the picture of all of the Trump siblings that was put out earlier on?
No, I didn't. Is that scary?
Fucking Donald's got 4 siblings. He's got 4 siblings. He's one of 5.
Do they all look like him?
No. I mean, in this picture, he doesn't even look like him.
Oh, cool. What does he look like?
He actually looks not like a human testicle. His skin seems ironed out.
Strange. Right.
And he's not orange.
Oh, that's different. Right, so...
Oh, we will be chatting about Saturday. Don't worry.
What are they going to do? What are they talking about? Right, so we're going to start talking about the events of today, because I woke up this morning and I was taken aback. I thought, what the hell is going on? And then I thought, maybe it's all just been, like, is it possible that it's all just been like this? And you know why that's been trending all day, don't you?
Because it's ridiculous. The lengths Rishi Sunak is going to right now to undermine himself, his party, his career are, well, Suella Braverman has been sacked as Home Secretary, and a bunch of other people have been removed from their positions as well in a major cabinet reshuffle today.
Yeah.
And this is all, in my opinion, and I have to say this is my opinion, because Rishi Sunak is afraid of Twitter. Because people have been screaming on Twitter about sacking her, sack Braverman out, Cruella they call her, and it's got to him, and he's finally caved and sacked her.
Yeah, I think. I mean, people were saying that, especially Sky, they were just cackling away, weren't they? They were like horrible, horrible people. Should we just listen to their brief clip?
Yeah, go on, give it to us.
Hold on. I'm just hearing a cabinet reshuffle is underway. A cabinet
thank God.
underway is what I'm just...
Thank You haven't slept a wink all night after that 90%.
We're live in Downing Street. That is what we are hearing. Will she survive the day?
No chance, absolutely not. Please host. No, you can't defy the Prime Minister like she did and expect to come out the other side smiling, unless the Prime Minister is too weak to do something about it. Now, they had told us that this reshuffle was going to happen around Christmas time. The fact it's been brought forward today is purely because Suella Braverman's insubordination last week.
So I don't know who that guy is, right?
Right.
But I don't care. I don't care for him. But I tell you what, I think he's completely wrong. I think he's got it completely the wrong way around. I think the cabinet reshuffle is a result of the fact that the Prime Minister is a very, very weak man. And
I agree with you, first of all.
And he hasn't really bowed to public pressure. What he's bowed to is the far left, if I can use that term. He's bowed to the wokies.
I think that's correct, first of all. Second of all, I'm not a fan of any of them, including Suella Braverman. I'm not a fan of any of them.
No.
But I see the appeal, and I see why people are continually saying she speaks for the silent majority. And I get it, okay? Yeah. I get the disenfranchisement people are feeling.
Yeah.
Because there have been promises made repeatedly by successive governments, i.e. stop the boats and other things like that never seem to come to any kind of fruition. And she was the first Home Secretary that really took on that rhetoric and said, I'm going to do it. I'm the one that's going to do it. And obviously she hasn't done it. And the new poster today from the Conservatives with the new Home Secretary, James Cleverly, says James Cleverly will stop the boats.
Yeah, sure. James not so. I tell you what, though, I mean, Suella Braverman has a lot of faults, and probably one of them is the fact in a political game she's not a terribly political person in some respects, in that she's a bit direct and cuts to the chase. So she says what's on her mind, and that doesn't go down well in some circumstances. And particularly when she says stupid things like, you know, being homeless is a lifestyle choice. You know, I mean, it's not really. It's not really.
Yeah.
But you know, you can understand what she's trying to say, right? And yeah,
well,
I mean, we all
no.
say, well, yeah, but we all say stupid things at certain points in our life, right?
Yeah.
And the problem is when she says it in the public eye, you know, she gets slaughtered for it, which is fair enough, right? But she's a strong character, and to be fair to her, she's at least tried to stop the boats, and then to be fair to Priti Patel, she tried to do the stuff as well. She tried to move them out to, you know, get them processed overseas and whatever, and then only legal people could come in. But I mean, I just found a statistic today, and it was something like there was 50,000 illegals come into the country last year, right?
Okay.
And 650,000 legal immigrants. So illegals aren't your big problem. Your big problem is the complete total amount of immigration.
or define problem.
Well,
First of
problem
all,
if
you have
right.
set your parameters.
Okay,
Define your problem.
If I may, then I'll set my parameters.
You may.
So the parameters I'm working on is if you don't wish to dilute your culture to the point where you cannot recognise it anymore, you have to limit the amount of people that are coming in with a different culture. And, you know, I'm not being racist. What I'm saying is, if you want to keep the culture that your country has, right? Because let's be fair, multiculturalism does not work, and that's been proven time and time again in a number of different countries, in a number of different places, right?
Well, I completely agree with that statement, but we have to, once again, I feel like we have to define and set the parameters of what we mean by multiculturalism. And that is the fact that two cultures that are at odds with one another, doesn't matter what people look like, doesn't matter who they pray to, none of that matters. If the two cultural values are at odds with one another, you can't just stick them next to each other or in the same place and expect them to work together, because it's just not going to happen.
Exactly.
And the dominant culture will always win.
Yeah, and the second part of multiculturalism is the fact that in some respects, people expect the people coming in to adapt their culture to yours, right? Which a lot of people do and don't do. I mean, I've seen expats in France who do not embrace anything. They don't even try and learn to speak French, right?
Right.
And that's that. They're just being monocultured as much as anyone else.
Absolutely.
But when we were there, we tried to speak French. We were learning French. We were blending in. We were following the rules, you know.
When I went last month, I discovered that I could actually have small conversations in French. It just sort of clicked in my head. I'd never tried it before, despite the fact I've been over there countless times. But I just started. I had to order some macarons actually for my daughter, and the woman could not speak a jot of English, and I just had a free-flowing conversation with her in French, and I was okay. You pick it up. You do pick it up, and you do learn.
Yeah. So yeah, that's. I think Rishi Sunak's a weak man, and I think he's just knee-jerking in response to what's going on in the world and what people are telling him. Now, and let's be fair here, he's not a popular man.
No, of course he's not.
And he's not popular amongst either the people or his own party, particularly.
Well, of course he's not popular among his own party. People have to remember, Rishi Sunak is unelected, even by his own party, because he ran for party leader, and they picked the other woman, Liz Truss.
Yeah,
Rishi Sunak came second in that ballot. He did not come first. So what he did was he went away, he got together with his mates, and they committed a coup. And they undermined Liz Truss, and the sore loser, Rishi Sunak, and that's what he was, a sore loser, unseated his political rival, perhaps that might be the way to. Well,
he did, he shafted her. He stabbed her in the back, basically.
Absolutely, he did. But let me bring the conversation full circle back to that clip that you showed us about, a few minutes ago.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And first of all, it's a bit rich. Somebody like Kay Burley sharing a conversation and a laugh about insubordination.
Yeah.
When the woman was put on, for some reason, fully paid leave for 6 months, because during the lockdowns, she and Beth decided to have a party, break the rules, and then go on national TV and lecture everybody about how they should be following those rules. And now I'm not saying what they did, in my opinion, was wrong, but it was in their own opinion, and it was insubordination in itself. But secondly, the shit, right? So we're supposed to look at these mainstream media outlets, and I'm not going to put ourselves in this, okay? Because we're not one of those. But they are supposed to broadcast without bias. They are supposed to broadcast impartially. They are supposed to report the news as is, or at least they tell us that's what they're supposed to do. And this clip that you just showed proves that's absolute bollocks. It's not the case. They're having a field day. They're having a party. They find it hilarious, and it's really personally making them happy. And you can see it. And that's not how they're presenting themselves. So they should hold themselves to that standard.
So, you know how Hamza was asking for Suella to be fired, right? Yeah. He obviously now got the bit between his teeth, and now he says we need a general election. And the thing is, I mean, and I did reply to him. I replied simply, have you looked in the mirror today? Because he said that never had anyone been so unfit for office and revelled in fanning the flames of division. How can he say that with a straight face? This guy has no...
in every position he's had.
He has no sense of irony whatsoever.
No, and once again, Hunter Yusuf is not an elected leader. We seem to have these leaders in positions right now, Prime Minister, First Minister of Scotland, and they weren't elected by anybody.
Well, speaking of people that weren't elected by anybody, this guy isn't even an MP.
We're about to get there. That's right, boys and girls. He's back. The man that gave us Brexit. The man that gave us a coalition government with the Liberal Democrats. And the man who gave us 7 years of austerity.
And
David Cameron is back.
The man who knows the way around a pig. So yeah, David Cameron is back as Foreign Secretary.
He is, and as you said, he is not an MP. So some emergency measures were taken this morning, weren't they, John?
Yeah, they made him a life peer, didn't they?
So he's not just Foreign Secretary, he's now Lord Cameron.
Yep, the king had to step in and quickly make him a life peer in order for him to be able to join the cabinet. Now, I thought this was all a bit sus, right? Because I'm thinking, this sounds a bit dodgy, bringing back ex-members of government to do... It's like jobs for the boys, isn't it? And I'm thinking, surely you need to be elected, but apparently not, because this used to happen quite a lot. It used to happen, particularly in the 1900s, and then even in the last century. It hasn't happened for about 50 years. I think Lord Hume, was the last one that came back. But it used to be more usual than it is now. It's certainly unusual now, and certainly it does stink a bit, I think. It's a bit like jobs for the boys, isn't it? Now,
well, this is to me, this is more damaging to Rishi Sunak with the public than sacking Suella Braverman.
Right.
This is far more damaging.
Well, yeah, because someone, who was it? Bev Turner came up with this theory. Okay, Bev Turner comes out with this theory that maybe he's brought back Cameron, because Cameron, and let's be fair, Cameron was fairly popular with the people, generally, okay?
Until he gave us 7 years of austerity.
Yeah,
and
but
then everybody was like, fuck Cameron.
Generally, he was pretty popular with the people. And he's a good orator, and he's actually quite good. He's quite good at speaking, and he's quite good on the international stage compared to some, especially when you measure him up against Biden. But anyway, but we'll get there in the future as well.
In due course.
So Bev reckons maybe she's been brought, and she was talking to Jacob Rees-Mogg about this, and she says maybe he's been brought back because he's a good kind of Robin to Rishi's Batman. Right, and anyway, and Mogg goes, well, if you want to bring back somebody that's popular, can I suggest that he was a prime minister a lot more recently than David Cameron, and he was a lot more popular than David Cameron. And
those two, Rishi Sunak and Boris Johnson, will never be able to work together.
No, again. I know. And Bev goes, yes, but maybe Boris would overshadow Rishi. You think?
He almost definitely would, yeah.
You think?
He almost definitely would.
Boris overshadows the Houses of Parliament. I mean, for all his faults, he has a larger-than-life character, you know?
Absolutely, he does. And you can't deny it. The people on the streets, they always love him. Even when a guy was being fucking police raided and he's there with them, and it just goes, Wagwan Boris. He's being arrested and raided. He's Wagwan Boris.
I don't even know what that means, but whatever. Yeah, so there you go. So, yeah, and now, have you had the latest?
Depends what you're going to tell me the latest is.
Andrea Jenkins.
What? Let me...
Andrea Jenkins has filed in a letter of no confidence in Rishi Sunak.
I don't think she's going to be the first, because there's clearly going to be...
I hope she's not. I mean, the news were saying it's unlikely there's going to be a landslide of letters coming in, but I'm thinking... Because Suella says you've not heard the last of this.
No, I mean, I think she's going to go for the job, isn't she? She's going to go for the job.
Yeah, I think she is.
So let me read you the summary of today's reshuffle.
There is nothing worse than a woman scorned.
I've got my research here in front of me. So let me read you today's reshuffle. In a shock move, and this comes from the dreaded BBC, by the way. In a shock move, ex-Prime Minister David Cameron becomes Foreign Secretary 7 years after he left Downing Street and not an MP. Cameron says he has quit his business and charity roles to focus on the job because I believe in public service. As part of the move, he joins the House of Lords, becoming Lord Cameron, and replaces James Cleverly, who is now Home Secretary. Cleverly takes over the Home Office from Suella Braverman, who was sacked by Sunak after a series of controversial comments. Victoria Atkins is the new Health Secretary, while Laura Trott becomes Chief Secretary to the Treasury. Steve Barclay, who was Health Secretary, replaces Teresa Coffey as Environment Secretary.
Lovely.
Well, I just thought I'd give you the full rundown.
No, that's very cool. Thanks for that.
You're very welcome.
Shall we?
Very welcome.
Should we move on to the next item? Should we? Is there anything else you want to talk about here?
No. I think that once again, in summary, it's a shit show. It's going to have completely undermined his premiership, and Suella Braverman is probably going to try and go for the job. Whether or not she succeeds, we shall see.
Well, we'll just close this item off with this little snippet from Danny.
This whole Brexit thing, when you know you're judging them on Brexit, they don't know nothing about it. Who knows about Brexit?
Yeah,
no one's got a fucking clue what Brexit is. Yeah, you watch Question Time, it's comedy.
Were you no clearer when Jeremy Corbyn?
No, I ain't got a clue. No one knows what it is. It's like this mad riddle that no one knows what it is, right? So what's happened to that twat David Cameron who called off? Let's be fair.
Well, you know what's happened to him. He's back.
He's back, baby. He's back.
He is back. So,
he is.
There was a couple of things happened at the weekend. And we did we did a little show on Saturday.
We did.
And I'm going to play a small video.
Bring in our crime correspondent.
So there's no sound
Martin
here, but this
Brown.
was.
We've been talking a lot all week, Martin, haven't we, about the complexity of the police
the people
operation. The only skirmishes we've seen so far this morning have been from those right-wing protesters.
So this was a group of Tommy supporters, I think, that were told to go that way to get up to the Senate House so they could pay the respects, and then they were stopped. And so basically they pushed their ways in, and they got there. Yeah. So that was one part of it, and there may have been other things happened later on, but you would have thought that was a running battle for hours, the way the press reported on that.
Oh, absolutely. And I mean, there was a skirmish, and I don't know if you did, but the TSG Territorial Support Group did run in and try and stop them, and it lasted all of about 3 to 5 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, no, you're absolutely right. Our press have reported them as exactly as I predicted they would, which was far right Tommy supporting thugs football hooligans and the like turning up to try and cause trouble and violence on Remembrance Day. Now, I can't tell you whether or not that was these people's intention because I simply don't know, but I will also tell you neither do the mainstream media.
Yeah, so they're saying an estimated 300,000 people took to the streets for that march. That didn't look that big, did it?
Are we talking about the Pro Palestine march?
Yeah, 300,000.
Well, they like to inflate the numbers of causes that they like and deflate the numbers of causes that they don't like. Yeah. You know, remember Mariana standing there in her 2 masks and her visor. A couple of hundred people are here while a crowd traverses past her for 45 minutes straight.
So what I'd like to play is I'd like to play this clip, and I can't find any evidence of this clip on mainstream media at all. Okay. But I'm pretty sure it happened.
Let's bring in our crime correspondent.
Sorry, wrong
Martin.
So that was Mr. Gove being harassed there. And, you know, he's already been harassed by one side, if you call it sides, but I remember him being harassed during previous restrictions, shall we say. And the people that harassed them were dealt with quite harshly.
Yeah.
Now, part of Suella's firing and controversial statements was she said something about there being 2-tier policing.
She did, and she called the pro-Palestinian march a hate march.
Well, yeah, she did call that, but that did look quite hateful, what was going on there. But
I agree
also,
with you.
I've got the feeling that those people aren't going to be dealt with harshly at all. I don't think they're even going to be dealt with.
I can certainly speak to 2-tier policing because I've seen it with my own eyes. I've seen what they do to causes that they don't think are going to get them in any political trouble if they act harshly against, shall we say. Mm-hmm. I've seen them get their batons out and start slamming mothers around the face. I've seen it happen. But yes, this protest, this march was policed very differently to how they have policed anti-restriction protests, anti-restriction marches, totally differently, like night and day, actually. And it's very hands-off, whereas those marches were very, very hands-on. They are obviously scared of losing political capital, and that's probably the main reason behind the 2-tiered policing. But I almost got into an argument earlier on Twitter, actually, because I said that these pro-Palestine marches should be policed with the same rigor as those restriction protests were.
Mm-hmm.
And somebody said, someone came in and they said to me, but that would have meant the same thing happening, innocent marchers being beaten and stuff. Well, I kind of understand that concept. I understand where that person's coming from. But at the same time, police officers were having their photographs taken with children dressed as Hamas terrorists. They were listening to people. I think one person said, and it was on video, that a bad man from World War II knew how to deal with the Jews. They were hearing things marched that are construed and considered by many as genocidal rhetoric and genocidal chants. Now, I'm not here to say whether or not those things are genocidal rhetoric and chants, but many consider them to be, and they did nothing. They did nothing. In fact, one man who was holding up a sign that said Hamas are terrorists, I believe it was an Iranian man, was nearly stabbed by one of these pro-Palestine marchers, once again caught on camera, attempted to stab the man, and I did not see a rush of police officers running him. I did not see hundreds of officers with helmets and batons ready to meet the protest. I didn't see any of this.
Yeah.
So two-tier policing is real.
I think it is real, and I think the problem stems from the very top.
I completely agree with that sentiment. Now, whether or not either one of these marches, either the one led by Tommy Robinson, who did the very sensible thing, in my opinion, and left after he paid his respects.
Yeah, I think so.
Or the one led by the Pro Palestinians. If either of those are a hate march, that's entirely up to you to decide. I'm not going to tell you either way. But I don't know, man. We are seeing more and more division on our street. And
well, I mean, we did warn about this, and I've gone on about it for a fair amount. That division is part of the rhetoric that one side in particular uses as a weapon because it's in the manual.
Yes, and before people say, "What are you talking about, John?" There are sections of ideological scripture, shall we say, that pretty much demand such division. Now, whether or not people are following that, or that's entirely down to them. But there will be some that are, and there will be some that aren't. I think there was more questionable behaviour on the part of the many marches within the Pro Palestine march on Saturday than the march to the cenotaph. But then again, I wasn't there. We only reviewed it live as it was happening.
The other thing, I understand that maybe people are upset about what's going on, 3,000 miles away or whatever. But it's really not our fight.
We do keep saying this.
And why do we want to be involved in it? One, this is, in theory, this is a Christian country, therefore has no skin in the game with either of the two religions that are currently at odds with each other in the Middle East. Right? So, secondly, you could live without doing business with either of them because they're not big providers of anything, right? So, and thirdly, we don't have the resources or the money to be able to make any big effect here. So what are we trading on? Are we trading on our past glory as leader of empire, or are we just trying to run about under the skirts of the United States of America and pretend that we're actually a big boy when we're not anymore?
When has our government never not done that?
Well, yeah, I know.
Especially recent governments. If you are enjoying the show, ladies and gentlemen, don't forget, we really appreciate you hit that like button and share it out. Just click that share button, send it out onto social media, tell people to come along and help us grow this thing. There are other ways you can support us as well. John will put a little graphic up later. Let's move on, John, because these marches in London, they're going to continue to happen. I believe there's one coming this Wednesday, in fact.
Yeah, they probably will. But let's go to this lovely place here. This is the Blue Lagoon.
Isn't it beautiful?
It's lovely, isn't it? And you can soak on in there all day in hot springs, regardless of the weather outside, have a drink and everything. It's very civilised, okay? But it's shut. It's been shut.
Yeah.
Because of the trauma that has happened. Now, that's not a Hollywood disaster movie. That's an actual crack in the earth.
That is an actual crack in the earth.
That's a big crack.
So, over in Iceland, things are getting a bit bloody worrying at the moment, aren't they?
Yeah, they are.
And it's... If people recall, Iceland had a major eruption before.
This is in this town as well. Ooh. And that's not an insubstantial hole, if you pardon the expression.
Well, my question is this.
Sorry, what?
My question is this: if you see such a hole,
yeah,
what on earth gives you the forethought to go? I'm gonna start kicking that.
Well, you're an Icelander. You're an Icelander.
Well, I understand that, but
remember,
have people not seen how quickly houses, cars fall into sinkholes?
But Icelanders have one of the highest suicide rates in the world.
I thought that was just Japanese.
Yeah, but Icelanders have one of the highest suicide rates in the world.
But still, you know, I don't think the person kicking the hole was suicidal. He just wanted a cool video for TikTok.
Yeah, I know. So Grindavik, the town that we were looking at there, has been evacuated. It's something like 3,500 residents or something like that, 50 odd houses. And there is there has been 1,400 earthquakes there in the last 48 hours.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah. So apparently the magma is only 800 metres below the town now. It's been pushing up and up and up. So things are starting to get a little bit fraught with danger. Now, the Icelanders have some fantastic trucks, don't they? Just look at that truck behind. Look how high it is.
Yeah.
They really go in for their tyres as well. But yeah, so there was a big problem though, because when they evacuated the town, they left all the pets and animals there, and it was like,
come on,
hold on. There was like 20 to 50 horses. There was over 300 sheep, and there's a chicken fattening plant with over 15,000 chickens in it. So today I was watching a little bit of this, and they were letting some of the residents in to go into they were going into the town in a group. They were going into one house at a time, you know, and they were prepared to jump away if something happened, because it could happen at any point, right? And they had a helicopter on standby and everything. And all the horses have now been released and out the town. The sheep have all been released from their stables and things, so they're all out in the hills now, and they were in the process of removing all the chickens from the chicken fattening plant.
Well, I was going to say, actually, I mean, just a couple of years ago, we had a bit of an issue at all of our KFCs in all of the country, and a lot of the time you go to KFC and you couldn't get any chicken. So Iceland, we know what this is like. So we feel
we don't.
I'm not. So, we don't know what a volcanic. So I'm trying to make levity here, John.
I know, but apparently almost every house in the town has had some kind of damage to it now, right? Well,
so it's gonna fall in, isn't it? The town's gonna fall in.
It's not looking good. So there's a map of the peninsula that the town's on. The town's round about. See where that big red line of earthquakes is? That's kind of where the town is.
What you're saying is it's directly in the danger zone.
Yeah, right. It really is. It's right front and centre. And the Blue Lagoon. So the Blue Lagoon is actually quite far away from that part. It's round the other. It's kind of on the other side. I don't know if this map. See up here. You can see my. Can you see my? Oh no, you can't. I don't think you can see my. Oh, you can see my mouse, right? So round about, that's the Blue Lagoon up here. Okay. Mm-hmm. This is the town down here, right? And this red line is the kind of what they call that, the division line or something, where they anticipate magma will erupt. Okay, so it could come anywhere along this red line, and if it comes out, up here, that's more or less okay. Although there is a chance it could sweep round. You know, if it's travelling, it could sweep round between these hills and engulf the Blue Lagoon, which would be a disaster because I think it's Iceland's biggest tourist attraction. Or it could roll down here and into the town, or it could come up in the town. But it
could not erupt at all.
They pretty much think it is definitely going to erupt. You saw all the earthquakes, right? The biggest problem is if it erupts down here under the sea. That's worse because it produces It produces more explosive effects. It produces more smoke and particles. And what happened the last time we had a big volcanic eruption in Iceland?
Well, our European airspace was shut down for a good couple of weeks.
Wasn't it? Yeah, wasn't it?
And it was a mess. It was an absolute mess. And that's why within Europe, I generally drive everywhere.
Yeah, well, yeah. So if it did pop off underneath the sea, I think you would probably find that you're likely to get some disruption to air travel locally, certainly in Iceland and possibly in transatlantic flights.
Yeah,
and it all depends on what way the wind's blowing, because the last time it happened, the jet stream was in exactly the wrong position and pulled everything down in towards Spain, which caused a massive problem because it brought it all over Europe and just ground everything to a halt.
It really did, and it was absolutely nuts. Right, thoughts and prayers are all we can offer at this time. And we do hope that everybody gets out of these dangerous areas as safely as possible.
Yeah.
Let's move on then, John. What else?
Yeah, well, let's move on. Let's go to the Marvels. It's been marvellous this weekend, hasn't it, for the Marvels? Has it?
No, it has not. So if you are a fan of the Marvel Cinematic Universe, you probably haven't been to see this movie because nobody has. Well, people have been to see it. I'm being a bit hyperbolic here. But in North America, it has opened this weekend to $47 million, which is...
So apparently it has simultaneously become the best movie to ever open with a black female director and the worst Marvel movie to ever open.
I mean, it's the first Marvel movie with a black female director. Her name is Nia DaCosta.
Yeah, but it's become the first. It's become the first one, or it's become the best one on its opening night with a black female director, but it's also the worst Marvel movie to ever open. So
it is.
That kind of tells you something.
So I have resisted the urge to go and see it, and I probably should go and see it just so that I can talk more about it. But I do know what it's about. I do know who it stars, and from what I am hearing, Iman Vellani, who plays Ms. Marvel, who had her own Disney Plus show earlier last year.
Is that her on the right?
Yeah, apparently she is the MVP of this movie. She brought her A game, she came to act, and apparently she absolutely nails it. And I don't doubt that, because Ms. Marvel was crap. But that's because they were given a crap script to work with. She was great, in my opinion. But you can only work with the pages that you've got.
Had they made a movie before this called Ms. Marvel?
No, they made a Disney Plus show called Ms. Marvel.
And was that the same people?
So this film is simultaneously the sequel to three things. This is Captain Marvel 2. This is a follow-on from Ms. Marvel on Disney Plus, and a follow-on from WandaVision on Disney Plus. And the premise of the movie is its three main leads, who are Maria Rambeau, Photon, I believe she's calling herself in this film, Captain Marvel, Brie Larson, and Ms. Marvel, Iman Vellani, are power swapping for reasons unknown. So they keep swapping places, and they all end up together and on an adventure to stop a villain doing a thing. But apparently the villain, whose name is Darban, is the worst Marvel villain ever.
So I'm lost.
You should be lost, because they shot this movie about 4 times.
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
And what they did was they took bits from each time they shot this movie, and they've pasted them together and thrown it at a screen and gone, consume product, come back and consume more product. And people have gone, no.
Somebody did say that the parts that have been reshot and any of the effects that have been reworked are completely different from what was shot before. So it stands out like a sore thumb. Now, I've not seen it, but I really don't think terribly want to, but yeah.
Well, apparently, Brie Larson's Captain Marvel is far more likable in this movie than she was in her first movie. However, this isn't a movie. Apparently, this is 3 or 4 big action set pieces that are just put together with random clips in the middle, and you'll start to get like an emotional draw, and then it will just abruptly end, jump into next scene, which is about something completely different. Samuel L. Jackson's Nick Fury is back in this movie, but apparently...
he's not dead, is he? I thought he was dead. He was dead.
Apparently he's the comic relief.
He's dead?
The comic relief. No, he's not dead.
He got...
They faked his death in one of the earlier movies.
God.
But apparently he's because this is a sequel to 4 Things. My apologies, and this year's Secret Invasion, starring Samuel L. Jackson.
Does this get anything to do with Captain Marvel by Axel Braun?
No. No. So this movie is allegedly it's not a film, and they spent $225 million on this that they've reported.
Yeah.
That's the production cost.
They're saying they need $800 million for it to break even.
I would say they need more.
I don't think it's going to get there.
Because what people, need to understand is that you will spend your production budget again on marketing. So whatever you spend on production, you'll probably spend again on marketing. So that takes it to $500 million. And then, it's great. It's made $47 million in its first weekend, $110 million at the global box office. That means the studio have made about $50 million.
If you're lucky, yeah.
If you're lucky. Because the studios only get about half the ticket sales. They don't. Obviously, the cinemas have got to make their money, haven't they, for carrying the film?
Yeah.
I imagine someone like Marvel Studios, who used to have really big pulling power, probably have a better deal with the cinemas, so they probably get a bigger cut of the tickets. But
so this is the guy that's responsible for it.
Yeah.
This is Fiegel. He's responsible for every Marvel movie since Disney took over.
Yeah.
And the director is on record as basically saying this.
I mean, that's not Kevin Feige.
It's meant to be, is it not?
No, that's not Kevin Feige.
Are you sure? It says it's Kevin Feige.
Well, if it is, it's a very bad picture of him. It could well be.
But anyway, well, that's why they've done the whole Thanos turn to dust thing on it. Because apparently she's come out and said that basically it's his movie.
Well, of course it's going to be his movie, because the way Marvel Studios make their movies is their directors aren't really directors. They're just people there to say action. The way a Marvel Studios movie is made is in the edit room. So they go in without a full script. They go in without a full direction and a full vision, and then they clobber together a movie in the edit. That's how they've always done it. And
that sounds like
it's failing them. We don't fucking edit it, though.
I know, we do. Whilst we collaborate together live.
Yeah, we do, baby. Yeah, we do.
Well, and actually, I am going to address the chat, if I may, at this point.
You may.
Shalini says there's nothing on at the cinema. Well, that's because the writers and the actors were on strike for most of the last 8 months.
No, it's only 100 days or so the actors were on strike.
The actors, 118 days the actors were on strike, but the writers were on strike for many, many months.
I agree with you, but
they're all back. They're back now.
Yeah, but nothing they would have written or acted in that time would be making it to screen at this point. So anything that was being made back then would have been next year's slate of film. So what's probably happened is films and
I would say that it's a combination of, one, they struck at exactly the right time, because what you had was a dearth of movies anyway because of COVID.
Yeah.
Right. So you had a marked slowdown in production. Even though California made Hollywood an essential service and they were allowed to do things without masks when everyone else had to.
Yes, of course they were, because if you're trying to fucking shoot a movie, you can't really do a love scene with both you in a blue black fucking surgical mask, can you?
I don't know.
It's not going to happen.
Try.
No, it's not going to happen. I mean, the only thing you could have done is filmed the California Guide to Sex During COVID. Do you remember that?
Do you remember that awful movie called Crash?
I believe so.
I think it was a David Cronenberg movie or something. And the guy, it was James Spader was in it. He had a fetish about having sex with open wounds.
It sounds like...
It was pretty dire.
Sounds like perfect casting, to be honest.
I couldn't watch it. It was just one of these movies I thought, nah, I'm not watching this.
Anywho, if you are enjoying the show, don't forget to leave a like, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and comment. Yeah, we like a comment. We do. And if you want to speak to us at the end of the show, then don't forget you can be prioritized by becoming a supporter at ko-fi.com, ko-fi.com/chasing dissent, patreon.com/chasing dissent, or indeed by becoming a member here on YouTube or sending us a very generous super chat. John, how many more items do we have?
Well, we've only got 2 items left, and that's the 2 funnies, which are just short videos.
And ladies and gentlemen, we've actually done an hour out of this.
Yeah.
I'm shocked.
Why?
Because it's actually run a lot more smoothly than I thought it would.
Yeah.
I mean, there are some minor notes that I will give you in due course in the morning.
Mm-hmm.
But otherwise, we are doing very, very well. I'm proud of you, sir.
Thank you. Would you like to see you put forward? In fact, you put forward both these clips for us to watch.
I did.
The vast majority of the media is supporting what Israel is doing and refusing to call out war crimes. That's a fact. If you don't like it, it's a fact.
Yeah, can we put some of these points to the Shadow Health Secretary with Streeting, who is waiting very
so
patiently?
intellectually second rate.
So childish.
Can we not?
So intellectually second rate. Have you frozen?
I mean, no, I've not frozen. But apparently they could hear echoes. That doesn't matter.
Right, okay. How could they hear echoes?
I have no idea. It's probably because I'm getting the audio as well.
Possible. But if I cut I can cut your audio, then you can't hear it. But you don't need to hear the next one anyway. Yes, yeah. The thing is, I would, yeah, I would have loved a cutback to Owen Jones's face though. After he said intellectually second rate, that would have been perfect. Now that's strange. I don't know why they can't hear you. That's bizarre. Because I had
Did you mute me?
No. I had the you know how I normally have the mix minus on.
Yeah.
Well, I turned the mix minus on in preparation for the next clap, and they couldn't hear you, which is odd.
But now I can hear myself.
Now you can hear yourself.
Yeah.
Hold on a minute. Right, can you hear him now, people?
Can you hear me now? Can you hear? I just praised how this was running fucking smoothly.
It's not bad. It's not bad. Can you hear yourself?
No.
And they can hear you.
And they can hear me.
There you go.
There we go. There we go indeed. And before we go to our final, it appeared to be true that Nigel Farage is going on I'm a Celebrity, Get Me Out of Here. I say appeared to be true. He's confirmed it himself.
Yeah. Hi, Jacob Rees-Mogg confirmed it as well when he was talking to Beverly Turner, because she asked him what his view on something was about. Oh, I can't remember. It was I don't know. It was some view that It's of no consequence anyway. And he goes, well, at least you won't be able to hear Nigel's view because he'll be in the jungle.
Yeah, and being paid between, I think it's between £1 and £1.5 million to be going in.
That's nice.
I mean, that is nice, isn't it?
Would you eat?
That is nice.
Would you chew on a kangaroo's willy, though? Would you?
It's cooked.
Sometimes they're not. Oh, I don't know. I don't think I could do that.
Well, just remember, guys, he will now have enough money in his bank account to reopen his Coots account if he so wishes.
Mind you, you still get your £1.5 million even if you go on and don't eat anything, don't you?
Well, if you walk out, no.
No,
if you're the first one...
What do you mean if you walk out, you don't get anything?
Well, you lose a significant amount of your fee if you walk off.
Yeah, but you don't need to walk off. But you don't need to eat stuff.
No, you could just refuse.
Yeah, you could, and you still get your fee. You just say, "I'm not eating that." I mean, your jungle mates might not look upon you very favourably.
They say, Nigel, you've got to get in this pit of spiders, and all he has to do is say,
"No, I'm not doing that."
Walk off.
Yeah.
But,
right. Okay. Last one.
Go on then.
And I watched this earlier, and I felt quite sad actually.
Yeah, me too.
That is quite sad. The guy doesn't have a clue, does he? He's just not there.
He doesn't know where he is, does he?
He's just not there.
This man is supposed to be the leader of the free world, people.
He can't run. He can't run for a second term.
I am shocked he's still alive this far into his first term.
Yeah, I know. I'm pretty sure he's going to get pulled though before.
Well, he's going to have to, isn't it?
Yeah.
They're going to have to run somebody else.
I've always said that though. I've said he'll drop out at the last minute.
And it'll probably be Gavin Newsom.
Oh Jesus! Probably.
It'll probably be Gavin Newsom.
At least it's not Arnold Schwarzenegger.
And the Republicans are being backed right into a corner here because if they don't put Trump up as their nominee, he's still going to put himself on the ballot paper as an independent. And if he does that, the Democrats win the presidency.
Yeah.
It's as simple as that because Trump loyalists will vote in their millions for Trump, whether or not he's a Republican or an independent.
Yep.
And if he runs as an independent, he's going to pull all of those votes away from the Republican Party, split that vote down the middle, and then your majority is going to the corpse of Joe Biden or Governor Gavin Newsom.
Yeah, because what's his name? Kennedy. He shot himself in the foot. He just completely immolated himself when he started talking about Israel. That was it. Done. Boom. He's out the running.
Well, he was never in the running for the Democratic Party anyway. Now he's running as an independent, obviously. He's not going to get the vote. He's
lost everything now because he's just lost it completely. Right.
And on that note, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, if there's anything you guys want to ask or comment or throw at us, then now is the time. We'll open the floor to you guys for a couple of minutes. Obviously, priority goes to anybody who donates in any way, shape, or form. But I will go to Adam, who says, I thought he got shot in the head.
Adam's being Adam, which is generally known as being a dick.
Yeah, but we do love him.
Yeah, sometimes.
Sometimes, oftentimes. Most of the time. He can be very, very, very helpful. Tony Garrett says, leader of the stolen world. Well, okay. Newsom, oh Lord, help us, says Mr. Jungle Griffin. Well, he's being groomed, isn't he? And I don't mean it in the naughty way. He's being groomed to be the next president, despite the fact that he's an awful governor.
Yeah.
But then again, let's face it, was Joe Biden ever an effective senator?
I don't know, but he was there for 120 years.
This is why, in the United States, you need to start thinking about term limits. Look at the dinosaur. Look at bloody Nancy Pelosi. I got a phone call from Bono. I got a phone. Nancy, it's 10 o'clock in the morning. Have you had your whiskey yet, Nancy?
Vodka. I think it's vodka Nancy drinks.
I've had my vodka. And Nancy, what's going on with your husband and that man over there? Don't ask me about that. No.
Robin, yeah, the USA does have an awful government, but can I just say, we're certainly not far behind. It's like, hello, pot, this is kettle.
Indeed it is. Indeed it is. Adam says they need to bring in Steven Seagal as president. Just eat himself to death. The oval off his death.
You can beat. You can slap Steven Seagal with a wet kipple these days and beat him.
Yeah, but this is Steven Seagal's fighting style, isn't it?
Yeah, I know, but that's what I'm saying. You can slap him with a kipper, and you'd probably beat him these days. He's so slow.
Also, if you've seen any Steven Seagal movie of the last sort of 15, 20 years, you'll know that anytime if he was president, anytime he needs to attend any event, he'd just send the body double.
Yeah, I know.
Just send the body double.
Yeah. Tucker Carlson. Yeah, just
body
because...
double that looks nothing like him and sounds nothing like him.
Just because someone's good at commentating on what's happening in the world doesn't necessarily mean they'd make an effective leader.
Mm.
You know. What are you doing? Right, having enough of this nonsense.
So if you've enjoyed it, then
Van Damme. What?
Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. Come back Wednesday night at 9 p.m. where we will do it all over again.
Well, we won't. We'll use different material. Okay, wasn't that funny? Did you notice my light? Do you notice that I put a little light on?
No.
But I am brighter. Maybe not mentally, but physically. I have got more light on my face. I turned it down quite low, but there's definitely more light there. Hello.
Oh, before we go, an update to my weight loss. 15 pounds down now.
Woohoo! That's good.
Woohoo! Yeah.
It makes Chaz. Yeah. Chaz is always fuzzy. Good grief.
But yeah, that's because of bokeh.
That's the bouquet. Yeah.
Bokeh.
Right, anyway. So thank you for attending this episode 268 of Dissent Live with me, John, and with Ben. And also with Chaz and his little ducky. Should you want to sponsor Ben's balls, it's paypal.me / what are you?
Wheelie Brick. It's in the
Wheelie Bricks. And if you want to sponsor Lexi's paw, because we had to steal money out of the business to try and pay for it today.
That's embezzlement, John.
Yeah, well, it's only resting on my account. Anyway, so if you want to sponsor Lexi's...
That will make our troll very happy. My stalker's going to be very happy with that.
If you want to sponsor Lexi's ball, paypal.me / Jason Dissent. So with that, it's good night from me, and it's good night from him. And it's been great for you.
Cause I don't give a fuck what you say. Yeah, I'ma do shit my way. So you can go kick rocks, I'ma stack bricks up, build what I want to make. Yo, I got got a lot of shit to say, so I'ma do this every day. I'll be writing things until I'm fucking buried in my grave. 6 feet deep under, but my body won't decay. Cause my messages are timeless, so they'll put them on display. Oh yeah, I rap with a certainty, I have a sense of urgency. A message for eternity, for everyone internally. I had some people burning me, but now they fucking learn to see I ain't the one to fuck with, now they looking nervously. And I don't really care what you think of me respectfully. You can kick rocks if you think you're fucking better, see. I will outwork you, turn you to an enemy. Hurt you so bad that you're gonna need some therapy. I got the motherfucking recipe. I've been cooking up hits, I'ma leave a legacy. You'll be looking small when you're standing right next to me. I'm 5'10", bitch, but I'm 10 feet next to me. I don't give a fuck what you say. Yeah, I'ma do shit my way. So you can go kick rocks, I'ma stack bricks up, build what I want to make. Cause I don't give a fuck what you say. Yeah, I'ma do shit my way. So you can go kick rocks, I'ma stack bricks up, build what I want to make. Yeah, I'ma do it my way. I can't contain it, I'm coming out with a statement. You really changed, man, all your music and arrangement. You don't know shit, shut your mouth, you can save it. I'm the same dude that got his come up from the basement. 100 songs, 100 weeks, didn't change it. Experiments, development, intelligence, and patience. I'll do it all again, cause I never feel complacent. Let's keep the good vibes, positivity's contagious. I'm never looking back, cause I made a life that's passionate. A college graduate suppressing all his talents, yeah. He found a way to go and change, become an advocate. For taking control of your life, go out and battle. And you think you have a dream, then act on it. Get after it, get out your head and fucking capture it. You got one life to master it. Don't give up on your future, we all start losers. We're all late bloomers, gotta struggle through the sewer. What you say, yeah, I'ma do shit my way. So you can go kick rocks, I'ma stack bricks up, build what I want to make. Cause I don't give a fuck what you say. Yeah, I'ma do shit my way. So you can go kick rocks, I'ma stack bricks up, build what I want to make.